How's it going, guys? I wanted to do a video kind of talking about the different levels and pricing of Engelhard 10-ounce bars. There's a lot of variations, and so what I first want to talk about is when people get into Engelhard vintage silver, usually what they get their hands on first is these cast bars. They're the cheapest, they have the lowest premium on them, and the reason for that is they're tier 5 bars. They were massively produced, and so both of these bars here, the one on the right is 400,000. The one on the left, I think, was 120,000. Don't quote me on that one on the left. I didn't pull out my book to check, but it's a highly minted bar. So normally you would get each one of these bars for sometime, if spot is what it is right now, around 23 bucks. You can hope to find one of these bars, 290, 300 bucks. Sometime a little less than 300 bucks, depending on the condition. And so a lot of people that have Engelhards, this is what they have. And it kind of leads into the next level of Engelhard, which is these P-loaf bars. Now these P-loafs carry a pretty good premium. If you're really lucky, you can find them for about 300 bucks. But normally you'll spend 340, 350 for them. That's what people will want to sell them for on eBay and things like that. But there were 200,000 of these bars minted, and they're very nice to look at. They're great bars. They feel good in the hand, and they're Engelhards. And this is probably one of the most popular bars that people like to collect. When people have Engelhards and they move past the cast bars, this is normally what they get into. And I know people that their entire Engelhard collection is these P-loafs, and that's about as deep as they delve into it. And it's fun. I mean, it's vintage silver anyway. And when you get a little more into it and you start wanting some rarer stuff, people start looking at, these waffle back bars. Now this one's a waffle back bar with, stamping on the reverse. It was an error where the actual mold was stamped empty, and it left an impression in the mold, and then they poured it. But these waffle back bars without these impressions will normally go for anywhere from 350 to 400 bucks. And you can get some nicer bars for around 400 bucks than these waffle backs. But I do believe that if you're a collector, you should have a few waffle backs in your collection just for variety. And I think there was about 40,000 of these made, so they're not super rare. And these W series bars, there were 18,000 of these made, and this W denotes that this was made in the California West facility. Now I have probably 50 10-ounce bars, 40 or 50, and this is the only W bar that I have. They're not extremely rare, but they are fairly rare, and you'll pay probably about the same price as this. You'll get them for about 350, 400 bucks. Now once you're in that $400 range, you can start looking at different types of bars. When you start looking at the bullhead bars, people call them bullhead bars, but this pretty much every bar that was minted in Canada by Engelhard has this old school platinum logo on it that's called the bull logo. But you can get these bars for around 400, 450 bucks. These XA error bars, even though all Engelhard states that there's only 250 of these, I believe that number to be closer to 2,000 at least. They seem to be flooded the market as of lately, and almost everybody that's been collecting for a while has a few of these bars. I've got 4 of them. Now, if you've got one with the full X8 on it, they go for more. They're much more rare. But these ones where the dials spun and they're error bars, you can get these bars. I won these, most of these. I got 4 of them. I won them at auction for around $4.50 a piece. But you can expect to pay $450, $500 for them. This is a gold standard bar made by Engelhard. You can expect to pay around $450 for this one as well. And then as you move up into more rare bars like these, you know, you can expect to pay $500-600 for these. As the rarity goes up, as the tier goes up, these tier 2 bars will cost you $550-600. Same as this one. This is a tier 1 bar actually, which means, you know, less than 500 were minted. You can expect to pay, you know, around $600 for a bar like this. In really good shape, you could pay as much as $657, depending on the serial number and what you're getting. But tier 1 bars go for a little more. This gold standard bar, there's 2 variants of this. Each one had a 500 mintage, and this bar will run you around $1,000. You'll spend $900 $1,000 on this bar. And this bar is a cast bar made in Canada, and if you were normally buying this bar, they're still fairly rare, and you would end up paying $450 for one of these bars normally. But this one, you see that serial number? This is a prototype bar. This bar was never meant to be released. So on all Engelhard, this bar is actually pictured there, and it's a very, very rare bar for a collector. I've been offered $1,500 for this bar, but I won't be selling it. It's a pinnacle of the collection, but it just kind of shows you that not all 10-ounce Engelhard bars are created equal. Entry-level Engelhard bars, and then as you move up the chain, you get more rare stuff. And this, I don't have, by any means, I don't have every example of 10-ounce Engelhards by any means. There's plenty that's more rare than what I have, and there's plenty series bars that I just don't have examples of yet. But this was just to kind of show you guys that, you know, when you get into Engelhards, there's levels to the bars that you buy. All right, guys, thanks for watching.